Hey Hunters, welcome back, and today I'm here with a brand new project. So, when I was in Salem, you probably watched the vlog already, I was actually pondering around CVS when my friend was in the bathroom, and I saw CVS's Halloween stuff before I actually got it in my town. So I found this awesome doorbell, and I found this really cool animated gargoyle, which is actually the same one that they sell at Spirit Halloween for $10 more, only this one has a cute little LED light that lights up his face. So when I saw the two things, I decided that I wanted to turn both of them into a prop, since I'm making my queue line in the driveway interactive this year. So I want as many things as possible that have a button or something that they can interact with, or like a step here mat, so that kind of thing. So I assembled these two things into this cool little prop, and I thought I'd share it with you. So we're gonna make it right now. But first, I just want to show you what it does. It's so cool. Alright guys, this is going to be a quick and easy build, but I think it's going to make a great addition to my interactive queue. So to start out with, I'm going to take a round wooden base that you can get at Home Depot, and a large metal angle bracket. Those are about $2, and I'm going to take a piece of 2x4, and I'm going to stand it up on the base, and I'm going to use the bracket to hold it in place. And I'm actually going to be using two of those brackets, one on each side, and I'm using black ones even though I'm going to paint it just because of habit. And then I'm taking some metal strapping, and I'm doing it on both of the short sides of the 2x4 just to give it a little bit of extra strength, especially because I want to be able to pick it up just by holding the 2x4, and I don't want to put all that stress on the brackets. And then I'm going to take a smaller piece of 2x4 and make sort of a T on the top. I'm going to hold that in place with more metal straps, and I'm just going to bend them up along the sides. And it doesn't need to be structurally sound, this is just to hold it in place. It's just going to hold our plastic gargoyle, which is not heavy, so I wasn't too concerned. The gargoyle prop had two sets of plastic loops on the bottom, so I'm just going to thread some zip ties through those loops. And those weren't quite long enough to reach all the way around the 2x4, so I got another set and I just daisy chained them together. And then I zip tied the gargoyle onto that T that we made out of 2x4. And then I'm going to go ahead and drill a small screw in the front, and that's going to hold our doorbell in place. And then I drilled two holes through the front of it, and I'm also going to put some zip ties through to act as loops, and then zip tie the loops around the back of the 2x4 just to hold it in place because I don't want anyone pulling it off. And then I'm going to take our base and I'm going to paint the crap out of it with some cheap black acrylic paint that I got at Walmart. I think it's like 50 cents a bottle. I use it for everything. And that like circle in the center there is extra Gorilla Glue because I had previously used this base for a spooky tree. And it was made of cardboard and it melted in the rain, so that's just leftover, you know, recycle and whatnot. And then I'm going to paint up the 2x4 with the same black paint. I'm not too concerned about the striations from the wood showing through, just because it's going to look better. And we're going to cover the bottom with some fake spider webs. So I'm just painting all around that T that we made, all around the edges of the doorbell and underneath the gargoyle. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint the base of the gargoyle a different color, just because the whole thing was that metallic silver and I wanted to give it some difference in color. And I'm going to take some black spider webbing, and using a staple gun, I'm just going to start at the top and then stretch it down towards the bottom. So once it's held in place up there, then I'm just going to staple down the length of the 2x4 and then all around the base just to make it look kind of cool. And I'm going to leave a hole there in the front because I have a little plastic rat skeleton that I got. And I'm just going to put some staples through his feet with the staple gun to hold him in place. No need to use glue. And I'm going to do that all around the back just because this is going to be in the queue line, so people are going to be walking around it, so I want the front and the back to look good. And then I'm going to do some white spider webbing over the black spider webbing just to give it some dimension. And I think it looks cool. Then I'm going to continue with our white spider webbing around the circumference of the base, and I just want to make sure I don't cover up my little rat dude because I want him peeking through. And then I got some spiders from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to staple gun their legs to the base. And I also added some to the 2x4, so they're like coming out of the spider webs, looking all cool and spidery like that. And I'm going to take some black creepy cloth that I got at Dollar Tree, also love Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap it around the base of the gargoyle and that 2x4 T just to cover up the seam between the gargoyle and the wood, just to hide it a little bit better. And then I'm going to start painting the front, and I'm going to make a little red arrow, and I'm going to be writing words in red acrylic paint down the front of the 2x4, and it's going to say do not press, hopefully encouraging someone to press it and be frightened by the doorbell. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint in those words. I had to make that R really tiny to fit the whole word in, but I think it looks fine. And then I drew an X just to really reinforce that I don't want it to be pressed, even though I actually really do. And here we have the finished prop. I think it came out awesome. The whole idea is that both props are sound activated, so when you press the doorbell, this little snake dude jumps out and pokes your finger. It scares the junk out of you. It makes a really loud sound, and then that's going to trigger our gargoyle friend up top to turn on and flap his wings. And I went ahead and painted his horns and eyes red just for some extra effect. And I think it's going to make a fun little interactive gag for people while they're waiting in line to get into the haunt. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, or even hit the notification bell if you're into that kind of thing. If you didn't like the video, don't tell me because it hurts my feelings. Okay, thanks, and happy haunting.